The end of October is fast approaching, so that means time to start harvesting the sugar beets. I'm probably not going to harvest them all today because there's a lot and they're big. Fortunately, they don't all need to be processed right away. Got a little time for that, but I am going to begin the process of harvesting them anyway. And as I said, I'll be doing a few all week long. So let's see what we got and get going. So as I showed previously, we do have some nice size, you really can't tell, but some nice size beets here. So looking forward to getting them out. Another one back here. So they're not all going to be this monster size, but that's okay. I think we're going to have a decent harvest. Of all the vegetables I planted this year, this might be the most successful. We'll see. The overnight temperature is dropping pretty rapidly. It drops down into the low 40s, maybe even dips into the upper 30s. I know when I take my dog for a walk in the morning at 4 a.m., it's about 40 degrees, so it feels pretty chilly. But the temperature during the day goes up. Like today, it's about 60 degrees or so. So warms up, but it's dropping real fast at night. I think it's time to get them out of the ground. I was going to go with a plastic tote, but I found this old wood basket, and I figured just for the visual alone, I would use this to fill up. I really don't know what to expect with this, so it's going to be an adventure for both of us and an adventure of discovery, and see how these sugar beets develop. Hopefully they're easy to pull out. Oh, well, that was simple enough. Okay, my inauspicious start to harvesting, as we like to do around here. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit bigger. Nothing major going on here, but it is a start, and they are getting bigger. They are very simple to harvest. Oh, look at that. That was like rotted or eaten out. I wonder. I've never had like a vole problem. Mice maybe. Boy, that's starting to worry me all of a sudden with the bigger ones, because I saw this side, and then when I turned it over, it was like this. I hope that isn't going to be a problem all the way along. We're not going to save this one. These were two that were right next to each other, so I'm going to want to space them apart next time I grow them. All right, a little bigger, more full. Okay, this is one of the ones I wanted to share. Now this is a sugar beet. This is what they're supposed to look like. This is how they're supposed to grow. If I can get a harvest of all this size, that would be exciting. All right, this is another one of those large ones. Okay, that's a nice size beet. Again, this kind of a beet is really what you want, so that you can get a lot of sugar out of them. They're about 16% sugar, thereabouts, 14, in that range, which is why you can make sugar out of them. Since it's not taking that long to harvest these, I'm already about halfway through. I'm going to just continue down the row, and I'll be back. So we ended up with a pretty decent harvest. I don't know, how big is a basket? A bushel or so, and maybe a couple bushels. I'll have to figure out how much a bushel is. But we got some decent sugar beets out of this. Nice long taproot. And another one of those really massive sugar beets. This is going to be, I don't know, a couple of pounds, I would say. And we had some that grew really weird, like this one. It was like a long banana. So I'm gonna, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds altogether, maybe. Make maybe a quart of, or quarter pound, or about a pound of sugar, if I can get it to actually do that. I think that's what it works out to. Something along those lines. We're actually gonna lose a lot of weight. For one, we gotta cut off all the green stalks. They gotta be peeled down. And so you lose a lot of weight from doing all that. I'm gonna clean this up though. And I'm actually gonna get my bathroom scale because I don't have a scale big enough to handle this. So I'm gonna get a bathroom scale and put this on a scale and see if I can figure out how much all this weighs. As excited as I am about the sugar beet harvest, equally impressive though is the amount of green waste sugar beets produce. This is a full wheelbarrow full. As I said, I'm going to give all this to the chickens. I did throw my Buff Orpington a leaf. She went over to it, looked at it, and seemed unimpressed. We'll have to see whether the Red Rocks are interested. Otherwise, they'll just end up composting in place. Maybe they will be interested in it. This is their pen, and that's the first stage of my chicken composting system. It goes through 4 different stages, and in the 5th week, yes, 5 weeks, I've got usable compost. I have a whole other channel. It's my original channel. It's called Homestead DIY, and I'll link to it below, of course, if you want to go check that out. But in that, on that channel, I have a whole step-by-step instruction on how I go about doing composting with my chickens. And as I said, it takes about 5 weeks to go from raw food like that to rich, fresh, crumbly compost that you can use in the garden. So check that out. I'll link to it up here, the actual video. But check out the channel and subscribe, of course. While cleaning the beets, I did notice one of these large ones had this hole in it, and I could stick my finger in way deep into that. So this one might not be any good either. Again, I don't know if something ate into that and burrowed in. The round hole seems to suggest that that's what happened and was eaten from the inside. But I'm going to end up cutting this one down here. I mean, I want the, like, this root part anyway, so hopefully the rot or the damage only goes up to about here, and I can cut it to a clean spot there. So I brought out my bathroom scale, and this basket that I'm using hardly registers at all on here. It doesn't register at all on here. So I'm gonna fill this up with the sugar beets and see how much we got. So I've put them on, and it comes to 36.6 pounds. So that's not bad. Like I said, I thought it was like 30, 40 pounds. So that's pretty good. I forget how many I planted. About 20 or so, 30. So maybe on average, I guess I got a pound each, but you know, I got a lot of these smaller ones, which, you know, aren't a pound and even smaller. So these larger ones make up for that. But what I'm going to do now also is cut off the tops of these and see how much usable weight we've got. So I cut open that one, and as you can see, what is that? That's just hard think that's part of the beet. This goes right to the edge. So maybe it is a rot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something started chewing on it and then left it alone, went and snacked on that other one, and then it just began to rot. So, but I got a lot more to cut off of this one. So I took off about another 1/2-inch slice and got down to clean sugar beet. So that's still plenty usable to get cassettes out of it. That's what, when you chop them up, they're called cassettes. So harvesting the sugar beets was actually the easy part. The hard part's going to be the processing them and trying to turn them into sugar. That'll be coming in the next week or so, and I'll show you that whole process as when we get to it. So if you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell, and that way you'll be able to follow the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.